Hello everyone, you're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. US President Donald Trump will be implementing a 25% tariff on Canada tomorrow, according to his chief spokesperson. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed the news during a briefing with reporters, stating that a Reuters report citing three sources indicating the president would be delaying tariffs until March 1st was false. I was just with the president in the Oval Office and I can confirm that tomorrow, the February 1st deadline that President Trump put into place continues, she said. When asked about Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's comments this morning that Canada would put forward retaliatory tariffs, Leavitt indicated Trump would respond to Trudeau's comments in due time. Reuters had reported that the tariff imposition would include a process for the countries to seek specific exemptions for certain imports, but that no decision was final until Trump makes a public announcement. Asked if there is a scenario where Canada, Mexico, and China would offer concessions, Leavitt said Trump is clear the tariffs will be implemented, but if he at any time decides to roll back those tariffs, she would leave it to him to make that decision. But starting tomorrow, those tariffs will be in place. Ontario Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie is promising to install barriers on all TTC subway platforms in Toronto if she becomes premier, an idea that has long been studied by TTC staff but could potentially cost billions if implemented across the network. She pointed out there have been stabbings and assaults at various stations and said more must be done. The TTC's latest capital budget lists platform edge doors as one of the unfunded items on a wish list for modernizing the TTC over the next 15 years. The transit agency pegs the cost of installing the barriers across the system at $4.1 billion. Asked about the expense of the project Friday, Crombie seemed surprised but said if that is the price of safety, then so be it. She added that the project might not be done all at once. I want people to ride the subway. We'll make it as safe and secure as possible. Obviously, we would start with the most trafficked stations like Yonge and Bloor, like St. George, like Kennedy. So we would start with the high traffic stations and perhaps roll it out later. Platform edge doors are already a part of the TTC's plans for the massive overhaul of Bloor Yonge Station. Crombie said she has not spoken with Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow about the proposal so far, but plans to have a sit-down with her at some point to discuss various ideas. Crombie also announced Friday that she would hire 300 special constables across various provincial transit agencies, such as the TTC, Ottawa's OC Transpo, and Metrolinx, in order to make public transit safer. Asked about Crombie's idea during a campaign stop in Windsor, NDP leader Marit Stiles said the province does need to invest more in making public transit safer and more affordable. However, she added that neither the Liberals nor the Conservatives can be trusted to do so. PC leader Doug Ford, when asked about the idea during a campaign stop in Niagara Falls on Friday, said his party has already spent billions of dollars expanding transit and plans to continue doing so. He pointed to multiple subway expansion projects in Toronto as well as rapid transit in Brampton and expanded GO service around the GTHA. Responding to Crombie's idea, transit advocacy group TTC Riders said the doors are needed, but what the province really needs is a new model for funding transit. The group said it will be asking every party to commit to taking care of existing transit infrastructure, funding transit operations, and funding the English East LRT and Waterfront East LRT projects. Police are searching for witnesses after more than a dozen cars were intentionally set on fire in two different instances in around the same area in Markham. York Regional Police were called to the first incident early morning on January 21st at a business near Green Lane and Godsman Road east of Bayview Avenue. When officers arrived, they said they saw three vehicles fully engulfed in flames and damaged the businesses. Markham Fire doused the flames and determined that an accelerant was used to purposefully set the fire. Just over a week later, at around 5 a.m. on Monday, another fire was ignited at a different address in the same area. This time, 16 vehicles were damaged, and police said an accelerant was used to feed the flames. Both buildings were unoccupied at the time of these incidents, police said, and no injuries were reported. Each incident is being investigated individually, and while the arsons did occur in close proximity to each other, there is no evidence to directly link them, police said in a release issued Friday. Investigators are asking anyone with the information to contact them at 1-866-876-5423 extension 7241 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. If Psalm 41 was looking to go out in a blaze of glory, frontman Derek Whibley set that plan into action from the outset on Thursday as his band wrapped up their farewell tour in Toronto. The Ajax, Ontario-founded rock act brought the flames the fury and, in Whibley's case, the filthy mouth you would expect from a seasoned rock veteran who still draws on his teenage punk attitude with relative ease. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get crazy, the 44-year-old demanded early on, firing off one of the countless bombs that colored the night at Scotiabank Arena. We have got a whole range of emotions to go through together. From there, he and his Sum 41 bandmates raced through their catalog of hits, including Motivation, Fat Lip, and In Too Deep from their breakout 2001 album All Killer, No Filler. They also performed singles from their other records, a few deep cuts, and unreleased fan favorite during the 2-hour set. But the range of emotions Whibley promised really strayed too deep into sentimentality. After singing one of Sum 41's few ballads, Whibley brushed it off, suggesting to the crowd he was pleased to get out of the way. Another upbeat song didn't seem to sit well with him either. No more smiles, no more happiness, he urged at one point. Let's go get tough, let's get angry. And so the party mostly lingered in the realm of rage celebration as a seemingly bottomless flow of confetti, streamers, and added fuel to the proceedings. An inflatable skeleton rose from the back of the stage, making Sum 41's famed 4-1 symbol with its bony fingers. Throughout it all, Whibley played musical conductor. Dressed in black, skinny jeans and cut-off t-shirt and American punk band Misfits, he waved his arms while encouraging everyone to sing. He divided the room to test their energy levels and goaded fans near the stage to join a mosh pit. Sum 41 has crossed the country over the past several weeks on the final leg of tour of the Setting Sun. The world tour launched early last year and had dates that stretched across North America, Asia, and Europe. The realization that the end was near seemed to set in as Whibley moved through their usual setlist. He thanked his fans more often, blew a kiss to one crowd surfer, and eventually abandoned his semi-scripted banter to take in the fading moment. After Sum 41 finished their usual encore, the lights stayed dim as the audience called for one last return to the stage. Staying true to the night, Whibley selected the sentimental So Long Goodbye from their 2007 album, Underclass Hero, before overshadowing its heartfelt lyrics with the roaring metal track Welcome to Hell. As the lights came up and the crowd exited the venue, one final song played over the sound system, Frank Sinatra's My Way. The Hamilton Wentworth District School Board says it has temporarily shut down its website, phones, and emails out of an abundance of caution due to the potential cyber incident. In a letter of families, the school board said it temporarily shut down internet access at 5 p.m. on Thursday. This means that critical HWDSB systems included Office 365, HWDSB's websites will not be functioning, the letter read. All schools remain open and transportation is continuing as usual, the board added. We have manual systems in place to ensure that educational activities continue smoothly and safely during this time, according to the letter. An emergency phone will be used by school administrators and staff to make phone calls out, the school board said. Elementary remote learning will be paused until the situation is resolved. At this moment, we do not know what duration of this disruption may be, but we are actively working to resolve the situation, the letter concluded. We will keep all families and community informed as more details are confirmed and the situation is resolved. Torontonians could wake up to temperature that will feel as cold as -23 on Saturday morning as a recent stretch of mild weather comes to a sudden end. The temperature was expected to reach a high of 2 Celsius on Friday before falling later in the day when there is a 40% chance of flurries. By late Friday night, the temperature will drop to a low of -14 but will feel to -21 with a wind chill. Saturday will bring a daytime high of -9 Celsius with a wind chill making it feel as cold as -23 in the morning and -16 in the afternoon. It's back into the freezer with sunshine, light winds, and high that won't break out of the high minus single digits. Coulter says that there is a strong system passing Toronto to the south on Friday. He says that while the snow is likely to be mostly relegated to the north shore of Lake Erie and areas to the south, it is possible that there could be a messy afternoon commute in Toronto if the storm takes a slightly northern track. The extreme cold should lift on Sunday, with Environment Canada calling for a daytime high of 1 Celsius, but Coulter warns that we could see a messy mix of mild showers and some afternoon flurries early next week. Temperatures are expected to see a high of +2 during the day and a low of -7 Celsius during the night on Monday and Tuesday nights. The federal government announced it is deferring the implementation of its change to the capital gains inclusion rate from June 21st of this year to January 1st, 2026. The government announced the deferral in a press release Friday and said it would maintain or enhance existing exemptions and create new incentives for investment. The tax hike would raise the inclusion rate on capital gains that companies may pay to 2/3 from 1/2. On an individual basis, the changes would apply to those with earnings from capital gains above $250,000. LeBlanc, the Minister of Finance and Intergovernmental Affairs, said in the announcement. Given the current context, our government felt that it was a responsible thing to do so. I look forward to further conversations with Canadians on how we can ensure Canada's fiscal policy encourages robust and sustained economic activity in every region of our country. The government highlighted 4 exemptions that were being maintained or created. This included maintaining the principal residence exemption to ensure Canadians do not pay capital gains taxes when selling their home, the release said. Ottawa also said it would pair a new $250,000 annual threshold for Canadians effective January 1st, 2026, with the increase to the lifetime capital gains to ensure individuals earning modest capital gains can benefit from the 1/2 inclusion rate. The third exemption listed was a move to increase the lifetime capital gains exemption to $1.25 million from the current amount for the sale of the small business shares as well as farming and fishery property. This exemption is effective June 25th, 2024, according to the government. Lastly, the government said it's introducing a new Canadian entrepreneurs incentive to encourage entrepreneurship by reducing the inclusion rate to 1/3 on a lifetime maximum of $2 million in eligible capital gains. The increased inclusion rate on the capital gains tax was initially proposed in the federal government's budget last April and subsequently introduced in a Ways and Means motion. The proposed change has not been passed in Parliament, which is prorogued until March 24th. The deferral will offer more clarity for individuals and businesses which were facing some uncertainty. Early this month, the Canada Revenue Agency (CRA) said it would continue to administer the changes to capital gains tax despite the fact that it wasn't passed in Parliament. That's it for now. I'm Kubrali signing off. See you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.